Pretty recently, I had a great event with ITDRC in the Hudson Valley. The Humvee was hauling equipment, and it really is more fun to drive when laden. You have to remember these things are tweaked to accommodate heavy armor, so when they're running light for civil work, the suspension is way underutilized, and it can even lead to uneven tread wear on the rear tires. So it was nice to have this regional response practice and to meet up with some great people as well. The only issue I discovered was some oil weeping from one of the wheel hubs after running at speed for a few hours. So I started investigating that as soon as I was back home. Now we'll take a look at the interesting geared hubs on these vehicles in a future video, but oil on the wheels and tires is typically an indicator of a blown seal or a clogged vent line. That typically presents on the input side of the gearbox assembly, not on the outer surfaces. Getting a close-up look, I could see that the small cap on the problem wheel didn't look like the others. Most Humvees have these additional parts covering their rear hubs, which are actually pretty cool. They're designed to work as emergency winches. By running a piece of metal bar through the shaft, you can wind rope around the hub this way and use the vehicle's wheel spin to aid a recovery. Removing that allowed me to easily access what I think was the ultimate source of that leak. It turns out that on this wheel, the only thing sealing the gearbox on the outside was a plastic pipe cap jammed in the threaded opening. The manual actually calls for a rather obscure metal cap that I was able to order by its national stock number from Cascar. What I received wasn't quite what I found on the other hubs, but does look more like what the manual depicts. It's a common plumbing fixture you could probably replace more readily, and it seems like it would be easier to service in the field with a hex head rather than the recessed square set screws I found on the other wheels. After popping out the plastic pipe cap, I dabbed a little hub oil inside to wipe away any surface grit. For the new caps, I applied a little plumber's tape and hand threaded it before tightening with a wrench. Cleaning away a little more residue, I hit the brass cap with some rattle can tan and reinstalled the wheel winch receiver. For consistency, I went ahead and gave the opposite wheel the same treatment. Alright, well, with that work done, I still want to jack this vehicle up and take a look at the geared hubs and get the oil level checked on them just for posterity to make sure we didn't leak out too much along the road. But for that, and in a future video, I've gotten this. This is the official up-armored Humvee jack by Bogart Industries. And we'll try that out. Weighs a ton, but rightly so. That can handle this vehicle and probably a lot worse. So we'll get that underneath the vehicle, jack it up, take a wheel off or two, and see what those hubs look like. So stay tuned. Thanks again.